It's the early 1840s in Germany, and a young woman who had been tormented by demons for months is now undergoing an exorcism in one of the most infamous and well-documented possession cases in history. This is the story of Gottliebin Dittus. Gottliebin Dittus was the youngest of 5 siblings who had been plagued with physical ailments her whole life. Stomach issues, spinal problems, and one leg shorter than the other. At the age of 28, she moved into a new home with her brothers and sisters. On her first night in the new home, Gottliebin had been attacked by a demonic presence that knocked her down while her brother was saying grace. The attack left her writhing violently for hours. As the family tried to help her, a demonic presence made itself known to the family. There was a knocking coming from under the floor. The candlelight shadows cast demonic figures on the walls. Amidst her intense squirming and screaming, Gottliebin uttered the words, "Something is here." Afterwards, Gottliebin became bedridden and plagued with sickness. She would have spells of catatonia and trance-like states, followed by lengthy episodes of convulsive fits. Poltergeist activity continued around the house, including strange knocking coming from inside the wood of the house. Gottliebin had been haunted by visions and exhibited odd behavior since she was a child. But ever since the demonic attack on their first night in the new home, her visions had increased, and she began to see the spirit of a dead woman holding a dead baby by her bed. Her behavior grew more erratic as she began attacking her siblings on multiple occasions. After 2 years of this, her family finally decided to bring in an exorcist, convinced that her behavior was the result of demonic possession. They summoned a reverend and faith healer named Johann Christoph Blumnart. But upon his entering, Gottliebin began writhing in agony, clawing at her eyes and screaming at him in some unknown language. These episodes continued, each time a different spirit or demon made itself known to Johann. Johann began conversing with the many spirits inside her. Gottliebin began attacking people around her. Johann, her sisters, and her family members who came to visit were all attacked by her. Even the town mayor was attacked by Gottliebin. She began to see multiple spirits surrounding her bed, a vision that was also seen by one of the attendants Johann had checking in on her. One night, Gottliebin began thrashing in agony on her bed, claiming she was being choked by a burning red-hot hand, although no hand was visible. Then, burn marks appeared on her body out of the blue and in front of many witnesses. Many times, Johann would check on her only to find Gottliebin writhing feverishly in her bed, where she would then speak to him in the voice of another demon or spirit. During this time, Gottliebin became suicidal, begging for death, and at one point, even trying to hang herself. Johann was convinced she was possessed by hundreds of demonic entities. One day during one of her convulsive fits of gyrating on the bed, Gottliebin asked if Johann would allow her into church where she could bring her spirits, so those spirits could be freed. While in church, Gottliebin saw many of these figures trying to attack Johann as he preached. Although Johann did not see them, he claimed that he felt their presence during the sermon. Around that time, Gottliebin began having prophetic dreams, predicting an earthquake in the West Indies, and the death of a flock of sheep in her hometown. Months later, Gottliebin started vomiting up strange objects. Metal, nails, glass, pins, needles, feathers, even a shoe buckle. They found needles inside her ear, under her skin, in her mouth, and under her eyelids. Several witnesses claim that Gottliebin threw up locusts, toads, bats, and a live serpent. She had nosebleeds that filled entire bowls to the brim. Johann Christopher returned to do an investigation into the claim of poltergeist activity in the house. He and many witnesses reported hearing banging, seeing furniture moving on its own, and witnessing sand pouring from the ceiling. In the meantime, Gottliebin's family followed the mysterious knocking sound to under the house and found a cauldron of animal bones buried under the house. This led to speculation that black magic had been performed in that house before Gottliebin and her family moved in, and the black magic rituals had drawn evil spirits into the house. After these revelations, Christopher had moved Gottliebin to an isolated house to keep her safe from the spirits, as well as to protect her family from her violent outbursts. Her old house had become an attraction to curious locals, interested in seeing a ghost for themselves, many even requesting to spend a few hours alone in the house. They were turned away. However, the poltergeist activity seemed to follow Gottliebin into her new house, in the form of loud knocking, as heard by the villagers nearby. Upon hearing the knocking, Gottliebin began frothing at the mouth and writhing on her bed. Johann and several of her female friends had visited Gottliebin in her new house and was horrified at what they saw. Her body twisted and contorted in impossible ways, writhing and squirming in agony on her bed and foaming at the mouth. Johann forced her to pray, clasping her hands together against her will, and for the time being, this seemed to drive the demon away. But the following day, the demon was back. Johann found her writhing in bed again, but this time her face was more monstrous, more demonic. Her eyes rolled white, and a deep, gravelly voice spoke to him through Gottliebin. Johann, believing this to be the spirit of the dead woman, began speaking to the spirit, where she claims to have killed several children. The blood was black and smells terrible, according to Johann. She began bleeding from her eyes and ears. At this point, Johann became convinced she was possessed by hundreds of spirits and demons and decided to perform an exorcism. Christopher began to perform an intense exorcism that lasted several hours. She spoke 10 different languages. After several hours, she fainted and the exorcism was halted. A few days later, Christopher returned. The exorcism resumed and lasted more than 8 hours. During the ordeal, Gottliebin revealed to him that she was possessed by 1,000 demons. Eventually, Johann exorcised the demonic forces out of her body, and Gottliebin sat up and said, "Jesus is victor." After the exorcism, all of Gottliebin's symptoms vanished. Not only the signs of demonic possession, but physical ailments as well. Her shorter foot, chronic stomach issues, spinal problems all vanished. However, her partially blind brother and older sister both began showing signs of demonic possession shortly after, and many had felt that the demons that left Gottliebin had then jumped into her siblings. In the wake of Gottliebin's exorcism, Johann Christoph Blumbart's parish went through a revival and boom in popularity. Stories of Gottliebin's possession and deliverance had spread throughout the countryside, and people flocked to Johann's church for healings and deliverance from demons. Johann even took his healings on the road, traveling around Germany, preaching and administering healings. During the 2-year-long ordeal, Johann kept extensive journals detailing his own personal experiences with Gottliebin. In addition, he wrote down numerous witness testimonies regarding Gottliebin's demonic possession, as well as the poltergeist activity that seemed to center around her. Johann wrote a book called Blumhardt's Battle, which was published in 1850 and told the world of the case of Gottliebin Dittus. The book includes a collection of almost 4,000 documents, including journal entries, correspondence, and witness statements. This makes the case of Gottliebin Dittus as one of the most well-documented demonic possession cases in history.